No sooner have you rung the ornate bell than the face of a lizard woman surfaces from behind a rock up on the ledge before you. Her stare is as sharp as the bolt eyeing you from atop her crossbow.
Stand back and keep your hands off your weapons. Convince me you're no Magister, or draw one last deep breath. I will not. You do not wear the collar of oppression. Explain. I have heard of this woman. No Magister would know. She can deceive our enemies, but sadly she cannot escape them. You do not share this weakness, as your presence here attests. I apologize for this steel-tipped welcome, but lives are at stake. Hold on, I'll let you up.
With one graceful motion, the lizard throws down a tangled mess of vines for you to climb.
Come, ascend to the sanctuary of Amadia. You'll find you're not the only guest here, but the Great Mother provides for all. Be welcome to this sanctuary. Amadia's eye in the storm.
What a pleasant little nest. A nice spot to pass the time.
The Red Prince interrupts as you're about to speak.
This woman is a dreamer. I can see the answers spinning in her eyes. Do rest your legs for a bit while I question her. You're too kind.
Red Prince and the Dreamer exchange courteous pleasantries, as if they're finding themselves in a palace hall instead of a death-ridden swamp. She introduces herself as Bahara. To your surprise, they next lie down on the ground in a seemingly warm embrace and fall asleep. What follows, though, is far from peaceful. They claw and thrash as if struggling for dear life, caught in the hold of some hideous nightmare. Then they wake, haggard, exhausted. They speak of a vision, Brahmos, and another red lizard.
Praise the daylight. I am now. There was death in that dream, chasing me like 100 hungry lions. But at least I've new directions. When we escape and find ourselves on the mainland once more, I must search for Brahmos the Wanderer. Then I will finally know the truth, the very secret of my soul. Yes, by all means, let us partake in the art of combat. Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. Nothing's changed but for our surroundings. Perhaps we simply ought to hug the coast in search of a ship.
The Red Prince takes on a reserved air, and you've the feeling he'd blush if such a thing could be noticed.
Secret of my soul, I said. What poppycock. Doesn't sound like me at all, not in the slightest. So drop it.
You are fortunate to have found this place. The hollow marshes swallow life and regurgitate only the dead. My name is Bahara. Like you, I am a sorcerer. But unlike you, I am also a faithful servant of Amadia. Praised be her name, and praised be her starlit eyes. Your chant has no meaning, for you know not of whom you speak. So let us sweep away such ill-starred ignorance, and Amadia is the Great Mother. She is the goddess in whose womb magic was conceived, from whose sacred body immortal wizards were born. Gratiana, her priestess in this sanctuary, is teaching me her ways. For several years now, I've been her disciple, but she has resided here for centuries, sustained by Amadia's love. I am forbidden to leave my watch, and there is no need for formality. Gratiana will receive you as you are. You'll soon find her. She never strays far from the statue of our goddess. The guests, they call themselves Seekers. They're brave people, and friends to sorcerers. But you'll find them a battered band here today, brought low by bloody battle. Magisters, of course. Who else? The Seekers came here to rescue a sorcerer from the fort. They failed. Many fell. They've heard the Shrieker's shriek. I thank the goddess I'm not haunted by their sound. To know one's fate is to be fearless. I reside in Amadia's palm. I am hers to shield or hers to crush, and in that knowledge, I am content. They knew him to be God-woken. They sought to kindle the divinity slumbering deep within his soul. But Alexander bears no rivals. Only the son can follow the father, or so he is convinced. For him, divinity. For the others, the dungeons. It is truly harrowing to know this man seeks to be the Seven's chosen. Have you never heard of them? From the tales they tell of Brachus Rex. They were living weapons, made of flesh and reared in torture. The pain they endured was so terrible, their screams turned to solid lightning. Turns out the tales are true. The Magisters dug deep and returned these horrors to the surface. As you wish. It is the laboratory of a lunatic. A place removed from mercy and sanity where mad Brachus Rex would experiment to his dark heart's content. There are ruins in the marshes. Stonework vultures that perch above the king's long-buried treasure. But his is not a treasure of gold, ruby, and sapphire. It is a treasure of death. The nights here are long and lonely. but I often listen to my mistress Gratiana speak of days long gone, the heydays of Brachus Rex. Perhaps she will tell you her tales as haunted quagmires is what they are, and what is mired in them is madness. Brachus Rex, he went too far. Source was never meant to be harnessed in weaponry. May Amadia curse his soul for turning creation into destruction. May you always walk in with... May you always walk in wisdom's wake, the flower-strewn path of Amadia. You are fortunate to have found this place. May you always walk in wisdom's wake, the flower-strewn path of Amadia. May you always walk in wisdom's wake, the flower-strewn path of Amadia.
The air out here's a damn sight better.
Tiffan smiles.
He said his name. Barely even knew that much. But still.
You tried your best, Han. I'm glad you're safe now.
We aren't really safe here, are we?
So long as Gareth returns, we will be. You're certain it was Verda's?
He said his name. Barely even knew that much. But still.
You tried your best, Han. I'm glad you're safe now.
We aren't really safe here, are we?
So long as Gareth returns, we will be.
You're alive! Wasn't sure you would be. Samadel, this is the one I told you about.
The dishevelled lizard eyes you with hope, though her hope is tinged with mistrust.
Han tells me you helped him out of Fort Joy. For that, you have my thanks. Can I ask if... Did you happen to meet a man named Gareth on your way here?
He'll be back, Samadel.
He has to, indeed. We need our leader. And if he doesn't return with help soon, we haven't a hope. Have you heard of Shriek?
Han looks down with a flinch. Samadel reaches out, grasping his hand. Her jaw tightens.
They're weapons that can kill with a screech. The Magisters patchwork them from living sorcerers. Don't misunderstand me. We're not afraid to fight, but we are powerless against Shriekers. The priestess at the shrine told Gareth some ancient secrets, some defenses that could be found in Brackus' armory. And he went there, in the hopes of finding it, whatever it is. You're kind to offer, but you'd best talk to Gareth's squire, Exeter. He'll know where your talents can be most... Now, Han, let's take a look at your nasty leg injury.
Catch you later, Skipper. It's good you're here.
I will not be a problem. Leave me be.
By Lucian's locks, stop fidgeting, lad.